All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Q&A Thursday. I am your host, Levi Gates, and with me, none other than Aaron Handready.
Thank you, Levi.
Aaron from customer service, ladies and gentlemen. He's joined us in the booth today, and he's going to be helping answer all your lovely Q&A questions. And it also helps to put a face to the name for some of these folks that you deal with on a daily basis.
Yes, and I might be making a few appearances here in the near future, so yeah, just putting a little face to the name.
There we go.
It is an honor and a privilege to be beside you, Levi.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Well, so the biggest thing we want to talk about is obviously we've got the sale happening right now. The boys are down in Orlando.
That's right.
Sunny Orlando, where I was last week. But we'll talk more about that. But we've got the sale going. So tomorrow is the last day to pick up 50% off all the coatings and accessories. So 20% off G-Technic, 40% off TRC coating accessories, and up to 50% off Diamond Protec. Now, those coating accessories are pearls. And what better way to show your loved ones than fine detailing quality product or high quality detailing products? Pearls, diamonds.
Exactly. I mean,
shiny coatings. I mean, that's all the good stuff, right?
Yeah, I think if you were to get your significant other these things, they would be impressed. And I think that you would be sitting pretty for the next year.
Okay.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to miss this sale. We also still have that beautiful red eagle blanket.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to be coming back, so get it while you still can.
Yeah, we've got a very limited stock left, and so people have been picking up their orders. We've got a few folks that are actually have received their orders. Like I said the other day, Augie took our cat and wrapped him up in it, and he was happy as a clam.
Oh, yeah. It's super comfy, super warm, so...
But
Take advantage of that sale while you still can.
80 by 60 Eagle blanket. So the last one we did, we were looking at some pictures. It was almost 6 years ago was the last time we launched an Eagle blanket.
Oh, wow.
And it was in blue. And so we just wanted to let everybody know that, hey, there's a red one now. And for those of you that are looking for an Eagle blanket, I think Luke Berge has about 4 or 5 of them. You might be willing to part for a few Benjamins. So you might want to hit him up. Yeah. So basically, that's it. But the boys are down in Orlando. They're talking to Freddie. So Tavarish on YouTube, Ask Tavarish. He's got YouTuber Matt Armstrong there as well. Wow. And then he's got some of his crew down there. And they are working on a project car that you may have seen on Anthony's stories for the rag company that he's been posting. So they're spending the day putting a car together, detailing that car, all within like 24 hours. Oof. So I don't envy them. It's a lot of work to get done, but they're doing it. And then they are going to be making a stop towards the end of this weekend and the beginning of the week. They're going to be at OG headquarters at Obsessed Garage.
Oh, that's
doing
exciting.
Stuff with Matt and his team. So pretty sweet. So thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully maybe the boys will jump in the chat. Maybe we'll see. I just wanted to give a shout out to Hans. I've forwarded your email up the chain, buddy. I don't know if anybody's gotten in touch with you, so apologies. So, all right, let's get some questions going here. Let me get here and a person I actually got to meet at Mobile Tech, one of the first people I got to see when I was there, Umberto, first from Puerto Rico, with a hello TRC team.
Hello.
What's up, buddy? And then we've got Eve saying, hey, everyone. How you doing, man? And then it wouldn't be a Q&A Thursday without Dan Pfeiffer with a good afternoon and a word up from rainy Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Who is everyone picking for the big game on Sunday? Go Niners. I am not a football fan.
Oh, I thought you were saying go Niners.
No, he was saying, you can give Dan the fist pump. I don't watch a lot of football, so I'm not the man. I like commercials.
Okay.
And I like whatever halftime show it's going to be, and I'll watch the game.
Okay.
So, and that's it.
So no one that you're even remotely pulling for?
No. Who are you pulling for? The 49ers?
49ers, okay. I was born in San Francisco.
All right.
Didn't live there for very long.
Hometown boy, hometown team?
Yep.
Okay.
My hockey team, my basketball team, My baseball team, they've all won championships as an adult, but the Niners, the last time was in '94, I believe, and I was like 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
So this is super exciting because I would love to be able to celebrate a win, Super Bowl win for my Niners. And my eldest daughter, she's 11. Just maybe because of proximity or whatnot, but she's a big 49ers fan as well.
Okay.
So she's following Dad's footsteps and whatnot. So she cheers with me during the games, and she'll be cheering with me during the Super Bowl. So, like, that's exciting to me, is to be able to hopefully cheer the team on to victory this Sunday. So I'll keep my fingers
that'll
crossed.
be fun. More a little family affair there.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've got Bruce's Garage saying, good afternoon. My Big Red Blankie should arrive tomorrow. Thanks for convincing me, Anthony. Oh, you're welcome there,
Enjoy.
Now, let me see where the problem is they jump. All right. Wondering where are the rest of the jokers that are usually on this show, from Dan Pfeiffer. Easy. Told you, they're in Florida. And then David Boyce saying, looks like 2 Levi Gateses to me. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I will say this. My wife has mentioned it as well. That I've never had my beard this long or this thick before. And since I've been growing it out, she has told me that she's like, you look like that one guy.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay. And he's on the podcast. And I was like, okay, Levi.
There we go. Yeah. That's good. Anthony and I always joked before I had my beard, people thought we were brothers.
Oh,
and so they would see us when I had shaved my face. And so, because he would always wear his hat backwards, and we had the same glasses. And so people would go like, I had my hat forward, his hat backwards, and then we would just switch for different things. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That works. I like that. All right. And then Riggs popping in, 920 saying, Umberto, Riggs, thank you for sending us your shield over there, right over the shoulder there. We appreciate that. He sent us a patch for the Green Bay Police patch. Appreciate it. It means a lot, man. And let's see. Everybody's saying hello to each other. And then Hans closing from the Netherlands saying, hello, people. Hello, Hans. And then G. Davis just saying Luke. I don't know what that's about.
I am your father.
Maybe he's calling him, hoping he'll get there. And then Ron saying Hans, the Stroop Waffle King. And then Joey Belinsky with a hello, my favorite people. And then Bill Pearson with a howdy, fellas, from both sunny and rainy Huntington Beach. I know that you're not there, Anthony. I know you're not there, Anthony, but FYI, we had 2 inches of rain by noon last Thursday. But you know that. Yeah, he was famously walking around Disneyland with soaking feet.
Oh.
Because of the rain.
That's not going to make Disneyland fun.
No. So, all right, let's see. Make sure we got everybody here. Han saying Ron and catching up there. And then he says, no response on my forwarded email, Levi, yet. Sorry, Hans. So Hans was putting in an order. He put in an email order for the Netherlands.
Okay.
And was asking, because normally for some reason, we have a shipping block for European orders. Now, in the past, it's been because you can't ship chemicals overseas. But it hasn't stopped us in the past to just unlock that and let Hans place his order, because he doesn't ever order chemicals. So This order isn't a chemical order. It's him wanting to get some sale stuff for towels, and he wants a Big Eagle blanket, all this stuff, and some hats and shirts and things like that. And so I forwarded it up to Maddie and John and said, is there anything we can do about it? So hopefully we can get that figured out before tomorrow, Hans.
Yes, fingers crossed.
And then everybody saying hello, with a Ron Ayotte saying hello to JB, and Alex Dwar saying, hey, Ron. And Umberto, if they are with Tavares, they could also be tangled with Rich Rebuilds. Yeah, so they're with a bunch of folks. There's a group of YouTubers that are down there, and the boys are down there with them hanging out, doing some stuff. So Neil White saying, can they both lose the Super Bowl? Who knows?
Possibly.
Could always happen. And then Riggs saying happy Q&A day, team. We appreciate that, buddy. And gosh, this is going fast. I appreciate you guys getting those questions in there. All right. Oop, it bounced again. All right. Bill Pearson. Let me see here. If it dries out long enough, do I need to recoat my wife's windshield with View? 1 or 2 coats, and how long does it need to cure before getting wet? So dries out in the sense like it's raining where you are, Bill, is what I'm assuming. Like if it dries out enough that you can then recoat your wife's windshield with View, would it need 1 or 2 coats, and how long does it need to cure before getting wet? I would try and just, you could clean it, do 1 coat if you don't have a lot of time. But reality, you can put 1 coat on, let it sit for an hour, and then put another coat on, and you're pretty much good to go. They usually ask for about an hour on most glass coatings, so I believe you could get it pretty good there for that. So hopefully you have like a car covering or something that you can pull in and just keep it that way. It's not soaking everything.
Yeah.
And then G. Davis with I believe General Eisenhower said it best when he mentioned to Allied troops that Luke Berge and his multiple Eagle blankets must be stopped at all costs. That's a good topic and probably true history for a lot of folks. All right, Detail Morty popping in saying Good Friday Eve from ATL, Georgia. What's up? And then G. Davis says the Swifties won't allow the 49ers to win.
Okay. Besides being a 49ers fan, I've called myself a closeted Swiftie before. Mm-hmm. There's several songs of hers that I will jam out to.
Yeah.
I've got 4 daughters.
Right.
No shame. I'll jam out to them. She's also got a lot of other songs I don't care for. So no hate for Taylor Swift, but I kind of want my 49ers to win for that reason as well. Just to,
yeah,
just to be fun.
It's easy.
Just saying.
David Boyce says he's rooting for the Kansas City Swifts. So it's a good team right there. And then Tyler Cucci from Diamond Pro Tech popping in saying, question for Levi. If I have a glass chess set, should I coat them with DPT body for that gloss or DPT glass for that clarity? Oh, it popped off there. I'm going to say if it's a glass chess set, you're going to have to use diamond glass. I probably wouldn't put body because body reacts very strangely on certain types of glass.
Okay.
So diamond glass is my answer. And then Johnny Cage. Hey, TRC team. Could you use an aftermarket air compressor on the IK Multi-Pro 12 Plus? What would be the recommended PSI to use? So are you asking, Johnny, like if I've got an air compressor in my house and I'm going to fill up my IK Multi-Pro 12 Plus just with air on the top? Yes, you can do that. If you're talking about adding a compressor to the side of it, like a Ryobi, like a battery-powered Ryobi compressor or something like that, yeah, you could do that too. The beauty of having the E compressor that IK makes is it's set to once it feels pressure back on itself, it shuts off.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Once it achieves its pressure, it does shut off. So I don't know. I would say give me a little more info on that. All right. And then G. Davis. Question for Aaron. How often are Dane's plans for Godzilla versus Kong themed motel discussed around the TRC offices?
So, in all honesty, he has not had this discussion with myself. However, I have heard that this discussion has been going on, so I can't speak to it personally, but just know that those discussions are being held. How far along we are in them, I don't know, but at least in customers.
As far as I know, he was looking at property.
Oh.
So he's pretty much wanting to do this. So
are you going to get in on this?
No, not at all. No.
Okay.
No, we'll let like I said, the biggest thing is that it's a goal for Dane. We've said maybe start small, maybe build it on your property as an attraction for folks to come to. He's got half an acre. Mind you, it's on the side of a hill, but it'd be a lot more fun if it was a Godzilla Kong themed on the side of a hill.
I get what you're saying. Okay, so maybe instead of a motel, because like you said, start small. It's an Airbnb.
Correct.
a one-room Airbnb that will get booked on a regular basis through word of mouth, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If it's done right, Dane.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So, we said start small. There's no need to go build this whole massive complex. I mean, we don't know where it's going to go from there. I don't want them to have to worry. So we want to try and help them out the best way we can.
Okay.
Ron Ayote, Levi, I have to send you a patch from the fire department I retired from. That would be very nice, Ron. Again, you don't have to do that, but we'd appreciate it. We'll throw it up there with the rest of them. So
cool
we
to have
really
a bunch
appreciate
of patches.
it. Yeah. As we've got the Green Bay one, we've got a cold water firefighter one, and
you guys have already
LeClaire already back there, city of LeClaire. So pretty cool. Eve with a what's the best tire shine or sealant to use with the Ultra Air sprayer, and at what dilution? And for inside WeatherTech carpet, what dilution would you use for the Casey Gummy Fix? So Casey Gummy Fix does not need a dilution. You just put it on. However much you want to put on is up to you. You can let it sit for a really long time, or you can then wipe it off with a towel, whatever you need to do. But for the Ultra Air Sprayer dressing applicator,
OptiBond,
correct. I like OptiBond because it's a water-based dressing. It's a water emulsified dressing too, and it doesn't fog in the air. And so that's the point of using a water-based, water emulsified dressing, is to not cause that fogging, because some tire dressings have an airborne silicon in them.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And if you atomize it, it makes those particles extremely fine, and it gases, so to speak, and it goes everywhere. And so you get it all over your paint, you get it all over your skin, you get it all over your body. It's like when you cook bacon. As a gentleman who wears glasses, you cook bacon, and then all of a sudden you look at your glasses and you don't realize it, but they're covered in bacon grease.
Yeah.
And then you go to wipe it on your shirt, but your shirt is also covered in bacon grease. It's the same thing that happens with silicone. And so when you're spraying other tire dressings that are not a water-based, water emulsified dressing, that's what happens.
Gotcha.
So when you spray OptiBond, you have none of that. It doesn't do any of that. And so it's much easier, much safer, much better for one, your workspace, because you don't have that cross contamination anymore. Mm-hmm. But also you're able to, if you get any overspray on your paint, you just wipe it off with a towel because it's water based. It doesn't smear, it doesn't do anything.
Gotcha. And that's at a 1-to-1 ratio?
1-to-1. Okay. All right. The director of success from Dr. Beasley's, Chris Rancana, popping in saying, "Hey Levi, welcome back before." Chris, it was so good to see you this last week. It was great to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Franco with a "What up, you beautiful detailing nerds," and then everybody saying hello to Umberto saying hello to Chris. Super Auto Al saying, "Make sure you guys smash that like with a thumbs up. Please do that." And then Hans says, "Yes, the TRC website has blocked me." Lol. Superfan Hans Closen blocked from being able to purchase the goods. And then Director of Success, Chris saying, "Ciao, Umberto." Franco with a "Gummy Fixes Amazeballs. Just used it with a spray bottle and a soft bristle detail brush. And damn, boy, you thick." So, yeah, that's the way I like using it. I actually like taking the bottle and taking like a boar's hair detail factory brush, and I just fill the brush.
Oh, right on it.
Kind of on that, and then I'll paint it into the floor mat, or I'll squirt a little bit in a corner, and then I'll use it as I'm an artist, and I'm pulling paint from the corner, but
Perfect.
I'm pulling that product over and painting the mat, and then I usually take them. My big thing is if you got sun, set it out in the sun, because it'll bake it and it'll penetrate it, which is really nice. So everybody's saying hello. And then Alex Dewar, former Grand Ambassador of the Year, saying, "Hope everyone's doing well." What's up, Alex? And then everybody saying again hello to Umberto. And Harry Housewife saying, "Much love, guys. We'll catch up at weekend currently on holiday with the wife and kids in a wet and windy UK. Cannot wait till TRCMA. Love y'all. We can't wait to have you here too, Darren. It's going to be awesome." And then Franco with an "Alexander the Great Doer." And then G. Davis saying, for an extra $10, Hans Closen will sleep in your Eagle blanket, then ship it directly to you. Such a deal.
I mean, it's invaluable after that, right?
It's worth more money.
You're only going to charge $10?
Then Franco with the Hairy Housewife, G. Davis, Hans, and Ron, hello. Everybody saying hello, 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 hello. And then Hans says, gee, I might even leave some Stroop waffle crumbs in it. And then Franco saying, woof, the shop just called $1,300 for shocks and struts. I'm sorry, that is a very tough pill to swallow.
Yes.
And then Joey Belinsky says, I'm a big fan of the PNS Swifts, the interior cleaner. There you go. And then Riggs 920 says, I typically don't apply a detail spray the same day of applying a fresh coating. I've been seeing detailers talk about doing this hours or next day after. What are your thoughts? So, applying a detail spray to the coating the same day. No. So I'm the same way. I do not. When I apply a coating, I let it sit for as long as possible. So usually what I do is I'll work on a weekend, right? So I'll bring in a car in on Saturday. My goal is if I'm coating that car, I try to have it coated that night, Saturday night. I want it done, fully finished, so that the coating has time to sit. Then it can sit overnight while I'm sleeping. And then I come out in the morning, I can finish up whatever I need to get done, and then I can pull it out, and then I will go touch it up. So it usually has about 24 hours. You know, because I mean, maybe less than that, 18 hours, over 12 hours though to sit before I put a detail spray. And the detail spray is designed to I'm just doing fingerprints, like removing that kind of stuff.
Right. Stuff that probably isn't there right after a ceramic coating's been applied anyway.
Right. Yeah. It's usually because I open and close the door a couple times, or one of my kids walk by and they put their hand on it or whatever. So, that's why I do that. And then Franco, I'm a fan of both Chiefs and Niners. This is going to be a great Super Bowl.
All right.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And then Rig saying, JB, hard not to like that thick foam. Everybody saying, hey to Joey Belinsky. And then David Boyce, do you two guys have a favorite product to clean fender wells that are really grimy? I like Forced. That's just my go-to. What have you been using since you've been here?
Oh, I love the smell of active foam, and active foam usually gets the job done for me. I like that Coach has their super foam so that if that grime is that grimy, you got something a little bit stronger. But active foam for the stubborn dirt and grime is just my go-to. It's pleasant. I love it.
It's a good smell.
Yes.
All right. G. Davis. For Levi, is it worth the effort to attempt to restore some rubber window sill trim on a Toyota? Sanding perhaps, then trim coating? To replace all four would cost about $300. You could, G. I mean, realistically, what are you looking for? $300 to replace all four. How much longer are you going to keep the car? If it's 1 year and you're just going to try and get it to go long enough to be able to get rid of it or pass it on to somebody else, then I'd say maybe try and restore it. But if it's something where you're like, man, we're going to keep this car forever, then maybe just get three. Just spend the money, spend the $300, get the new ones, and then just know that they're ready to go. And then you could put the trim coating on there, or you could start right off the bat with solution finish over the top, on top of there, and just start protecting it. You know, I mean, it's really what's the car worth to you at that point? So. Hans with a Joey Belinsky, and then David Boyce with a Levi and Aaron. What's your go-to paste wax? That's a can of wax.
Okay, I will have to bow out. Not familiar with waxes a whole lot. Haven't really used them myself.
Did you ever use any when you were younger? Did you ever have to wax a car when you were younger?
I did not. No.
Wow, impressive.
So I guess as you answer this, maybe help me because I guess at one point waxes were thought to be a thing of the past, or there were just other things that you could use. Are waxes still?
So there are waxes and sealants. Always. There's always been like a wax and a sealant. And even the old sealants were basically just a stronger wax.
Oh, okay.
So as technologies have increased, they've become sprayable. So you have waxes that are sprayable. You have sealants that are sprayable. And now we have to the point where we have ceramic coating light, in a sense, where we have coatings that can be 1 year durability that can be just sprayed on and wiped off. So with the advent of better protection faster, or the fact that most stuff is sprayable, people don't tend to wax a car anymore with a paste wax. Because if you think of like Karate Kid, that's a tedious job.
Yes.
Right? The thing is, there are some people that once they learn how to do it, they find a spot where that is a meditative, relaxing session for them.
Oh, I see that.
So they can just wax a panel and be good. So we carry a couple different waxes. I like waxes for cars that aren't going to see a lot of like older hot rods, stuff like that. I like waxes for that. My dad, most of his cars, he'll just wax because he likes doing it. It's what he knows. He also really likes using bead maker, things like that, because it's simple. It's easy. You can spray it on and wipe it off. And he's like, he used to take me, he would tell me stories where he would go to the park to Julie Davis, him and his buddy, and his buddy's name was Crow, Dan Crow. They would go to Julie Davis Park, they'd park their cars, they'd bust out their cans of wax, car wax. They would have just washed their cars and then drove to the park to then wax the cars, listening to music with their windows down in their cars, waxing them up, getting them all detailed, looking sharp, because back then, Julia Davis Park, people used to cruise like they cruise downtown Boise.
Oh.
They would cruise Julia Davis Park on a Saturday afternoon.
Interesting. Okay.
So I have these pictures, like these things of like thinking of my dad and his white Chevy pickup and his, he had a 67 Fairlane 500. And like, just, I think about these cars and I'm like, so weird. So weird. That's what you would go do. Like that was something fun and
well,
cool.
like you said, meditative, right?
Yeah, but that's what a lot of people think. And so there are times where people go, oh, I have phone calls, and I'm sure you've gotten some from folks who go, I have a really high stress job, or I have this type of job, and I find relaxation by detailing a car when I come home and work in the garage. It's the same thing. And so waxes have that capability. And so we sell Kosh Chemi's the H001, the hand wax, which is, I call honey buttered toast, because it's like honey toast. Like it's got a honey smell, but it smells like butter, but you can apply it. It stays wet for a very long time. I call that a soft wax, meaning that it stays wet for a very long time. We have Fantastique by Stjarnaglas. That is a hard candy wax that you put on, and it creates a high gloss sheen that feels on the surface almost like a candy shell, but it wipes off easy, but it's a little harder feel when you wipe it. It makes the clear feel a little harder. It almost hardens. It's weird. It's wild. But if you put the two side by side, if we busted out a hood, put both waxes, that's a great video idea. Put the two waxes side by side so you could feel the difference. You'd go, oh, okay. One will give you really good, they'll both give you good protection, but one is probably going to last a little longer because of the hard sheen that it leaves, the more protection, a little more barrier. That's the Fantastique, where the Kosh is more of literally a 3 to 6 month or 3 month wax, but it's very simple to apply. You could leave it on, forget, go have a bite to eat, go out to dinner with your wife and kids, come back, next morning walk out and go, oh crap, I forgot to take the wax off, and still remove it, no problem, like you just applied it. Where the Fantastique, if you don't take it off in the amount of time, you might go, oh, it's a little harder to remove. So there's a lot of different variations. When we had Wowos, Anthony and I created a wax that smelled like a toasted marshmallow.
Really?
Yeah, they have a can still over at the store. It's really good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to smell that.
It's one of our favorites. But we did that for the fact that people could find that relaxation capability. It smelled good. It was fun to put on, and it worked. So
you're gonna wax your car. Which one of those two are you using? Or would you use one just depending on?
I would probably use the Kosh wax because my elbows hurt. So I'm going to do the one that's the least damaging to my system.
Gotcha.
So
Probably smart.
Ron says, if Dane does that Airbnb, will he put his massage chair in there? Probably not. I could see him do it, buying another massage chair.
Oh, yeah.
Putting a dollar bill acceptor, make a little money off of it.
I'm getting a little excited about this. I might have to
I think you have to start putting him, helping him.
Well, yeah,
get
it, pushing it forward.
Yeah, exactly. Franco, I just got done with the girlfriend's Honda Civic. If anyone has ever wondered if a bicycle pump could be used to pump up IK sprayers, yes. 6 to 10 pumps versus 1.2 million. There you go. You could use a bike pump, any pump. EC Details saying, hey, friends. What's up, man? G. Davis, I saw on Twitter that Anthony, billing himself as the amazing Albert, is captivating Orlando audiences with his magic act. In particular, his trick to make the inhibitions of women over 60 disappear. That's great, G. Good stuff. Ron saying, hey. G. Davis, EC saying, hey. Everybody saying hi to Eddie. And let's see here, too. Johnny Cage. Hey, Levi, thinking of using a compact battery-operated air compressor that could be attached to the sprayer. Would like to use the sprayer with O&R. Okay, so I don't see why not. But you could use it for again, I don't know exactly which compressor you want to use, but you could use it for that. But that's why the current one is developed for it, because it keys in, it fits, it's got the straps, it does all that stuff. It's built for the machine. So, but yeah, try it out. See, let us know. EC wondering who you are.
Oh, I'm a nobody. Just kidding. No, yeah. So I'm Aaron Henready, as the customer support manager here at the Rad Company. Been with you guys for almost a year now. Yep. I started with last year's TRCMA, worked behind the scenes, and then after that, at the very beginning of April, end of March, got brought on. So, been working in customer service for basically most of my adult career life. Whatnot. I did work with Anthony Fisher at his job at the fitness company
back in the day. When did he look like that?
I looked kind of like that. I looked
yourself.
Yes, a lot bigger, just because. But
apparently, that's what you guys had to do to work there.
It was help. Well, okay. Here's the thing. So they provided you
with everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, you had supplements coming out of my ears.
He said he had supplements on tap. Like you'd walk into the break room and you could just get the stuff that you needed right there.
We had amino acids that were just on tap. They were very helpful. And
there you go. Riggs saying, yo, Alex, I ordered poutine recently, went out to eat. Everyone was wondering what it was and agreed. It was delish. And then EC says, hey, new dude, that beard looks mint.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, then Freddie.
The nice warm fuzzy.
That's very nice. Frank saying, Eddie here in Texas is not a problem. Freaking winds can be. Caca, though. Jeff C. I have a set of Nokian snow tires that seem to reject tire dressing because they put canola oil and other plant-derived compounds in the rubber. Are there any tire dressings that might work better? Have you tried OptiBond?
It's a favorite around here.
Pretty much. OptiBond or Gumi by Stjarnaglas. Both of those really, really good. So, and then EC saying for you to get rid of that car. Aaron saying Exo V5 or CSL. I know it's ideal to apply both, but which coating do you prefer, Levi, if you had to choose one, and why? Thanks. Happy Chinese New Year and Super Bowl weekend. Go Niners. Exo V5 or CSL? Exo V5, realistically, if cared for, could see about 2 years plus on the car. It really is designed for about an 18-month, 2-year, 3-year coating at the max. But I mean, that's a lot of.
And that's on its own?
On its own, it's 18 months.
Okay.
So, but if you take care of it and you're reloading it up with C2V3 and you're washing it properly and you're doing all the stuff, then you could make it work. CSL is a much stronger, longer lasting coating, and is a much better offering. And so what we've kind of explained to people is that, it really just depends. Exo's more high gloss, high chemical resistance. CSL is a high gloss, high chemical resistance, but much longer lasting because of what's in it. So it really just depends on what you want to do. I had a customer that bought a brand new car, but they're like, hey, we're going to run it through the car wash. But I'm going to run it through the car wash every 6 weeks, and it sleeps in my garage every night. And I'm going to drive it maybe 500 miles a week, maybe, if that. It's going to sit in the garage most of the time. So then you go, all right, if it's not going to get driven a lot and it's going to be sitting in the garage, and in 5 years you might put 20,000 miles on it in 5 years, then XOV5 will be just fine. And I would usually just recommend, hey, next year, re-up the coating, because it's going to go through maybe 6 to 8 car washes that year. It's going to get some light marring from the car wash, but it's going to be sitting. So it's not going to be, it's in a covered garage. It stays clean. It's not getting beat up by kids, then it's a different thing. But that's why Anthony has the CSL and an XO on his cars, because he doesn't do a lot with them. They just live in the garage. They chill out, and he's good with it. So,
yeah, personal opinion, I like to think of the EXO V5 as a topper.
Yeah.
For the CSL. So not that you can't use EXO V5 on its own, but
it's very simple and easy to use. So I usually always try to push people towards CSL depending on how much they're using, like what the car is. That's the biggest thing. So, all right. Chad saying hello. Hello, Chad. Jorge Acosta saying hello, peeps from Puerto Rico. David Boy saying, Levi, what wet dry shop are you using? Also, what brand steamer you? I think he means shop vac. So I use just a rigid, like a 6-gallon rigid. It's like $60 at Home Depot.
That's not bad.
It's seriously like the best vacuum you could buy. I've warrantied it 3 times in 5 years, and I've gotten 3 replacements.
Hey.
So, and now I'm going to go buy another one, like buy a new one. So I would recommend, mostly because I want to buy a new one, because I'm going to buy that, and then I'm going to buy the Buff Bright filter guard that they sell over at the store that Tom is working on.
Yeah.
It's a sack that goes over your filter in your vacuum, because I want to see how it works, and I want to see how well it keeps my filter clean. And then steamer, McCullough 1275. That's what I'm using as a steamer. And then Director of Success, Chris, saying, dude, I was raised on the high-tech yellow wax number 27 from Meguiar's. I used to love that stuff. Yeah, I was a Car Beauty pro kid. So my dad and my mom used a ton of pro Car Beauty products. And that's just how I was raised. That's where I cut my teeth. So I had a lot of old bottles of that still. My dad still has some of that stuff in his garage. It's crazy. But that was where I learned on paste waxes, was that, and Simonize. So
you grew up, your dad?
I grew up detailing because my parents were detailers. Like my mom and my dad used to do it as a side gig when they were first married. And that was always a way to just bring in extra money. Yeah. And my dad was charging $35 a car back then to detail a car. Wash, vacuum, and put a coat of wax on it.
Who wishes they can get a detail for that price today?
Right? And so that's how I was kind of like always around it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't actually start learning how to detail till I was about 11, 12. Uh-huh. And it became part of my chores. Oh. So I didn't have to mow the lawn yet, but what I did have to do was go mow my grandmother's lawn every week to get $10. And then my dad, for my allowance, which was like $5 at the time, he would have me wash both cars, his car and my mom's car. And once a month, I had to put a coat of wax from his Car Beauty stash on the cars. So this would have been 92. I'm 12 years old, and that's what I did. And then I figured out that I liked doing that more than mowing lawns, but I still mowed lawns, but I tried to do that with neighbors and stuff, even though I didn't realize it took me way longer to wash cars than to do the other thing. But I just enjoyed it more. And then that was just something I liked doing. And when I was 16, I got a job at the car wash down the street right over here. So did that. And I've been in it ever since.
Wow.
So
the rest is history.
there
That's
you
so
go.
cool. I love that both your parents were detailers.
Yeah, my mom and my dad laugh because my dad says he's taught me how to wax a car when I was like 12, right? My mom says, no, it was when you were a baby and I had you in one of those front carriers, like a baby Bjorn, and you were like 5 months old, 6 months old, and I was trying to keep your hands out of the wax.
She might have a legitimate.
And she goes, and I was
there.
telling you, I was teaching you how to wax a car while I was waxing a car, holding you on my chest, like doing that at the same time.
I think 5 months is a lot sooner than 12 years.
Yeah. So the jury's still out. And then G. Davis, thoughts on the Boise Home to Suites banning Alex Duar after his recent affiliation with the Kanye West bar mitzvah planning app. I don't know. I reached out to Home to Suites to see if we get that cleared up, and they have not yet responded. So we'll see. Director of Success, Chris, although the old man was strictly Zymol, at least for the German vehicles. Yeah, Zymol, I remember that stuff. We used to use that too.
Is that wax?
It's a company. It's a brand, Zymol. So it was a European brand, German brand for products. And they had some very unique products. Like they had a wipe-on sealant that was a liquid sealant, kind of like OptiSeal
Okay.
back in the day.
You said was? Are they not?
No, they're still around.
Okay.
You can still get Zymol. And then David Boyce, Eddie Cologne, 2 daughters are detailing gems. Oh, Eddie Cologne's 2 daughters are detailing gems. Everybody saying what up. And Greg Seibold, reward your video from the trip to the Diamond headquarters. There is a product in the video. I believe it was called Hydro. I don't see it listed on the TRC website. Is this available? So Hydro is part of the Diamond ProTech Pro series.
Oh, okay.
Hydro is a top coat that you put on top of DPT 60 or DPT 120. It is kind of like what we've said about XOV5.
Okay.
It's a topper that you add, but it's an extremely, extremely hydrophobic topper. It's the one that really changes that contact angle to make it make it up so high, over 120 degrees. It's crazy. Water just doesn't stick to it. So that's why you have to be a certified installer to use Hydro. Hydro is a product that when let's say a customer comes in, they get their detail. Let's say I coat your car in the Pro Series stuff, and I say, hey, need you to come back in a couple weeks, in a 1 year, have me do a quick maintenance detail on it. That, like, the goal is that the Hydro, if it needs topped up, you would reapply Hydro for your customer.
Oh, you wouldn't need to reapply the other stuff.
You wouldn't need to reapply the other stuff, but you could reapply Hydro. And the reason is it just depends, because sometimes it doesn't depend on how you care for it. Hydro is the first line of defense, so it could fail if it gets to it. So currently, Diamond ProTech's working on the new version of Hydro that is much, much stronger, making DPT's Pro 120, Pro 60 an extremely strong that would not need to be a re-upped product or fixed that product. And it's not that it needs to be re-upped. It's just that's the one thing that is nice about Hydro is you can reapply it in certain panels because say you get horrible water spots. You remove the water spots, you polish those water spots out. You don't hit the coating underneath, but you will remove the Hydro coating. So then you'd reapply that top panel.
That makes
but you
sense.
don't need to reapply the 2 layers below it or the 1 layer below it because it's a very thick. Once all 3 layers or 2 layers are on, it's extremely thick coating. So Jeff C., would using Diamond Quick Body on black plastic trim prevent future application of solution finish? Yes, it would. Diamond Quick Body, though, only has a 18-month, 2-year lifespan, so it will hopefully at the end of that time period, then you'd be able to apply solution finish again. Greg, also, any new Diamond or updated products coming from Diamond ProTech? Tyler Cucci could answer most of those. I would say, Greg, stay tuned for TRCMA. And then G. Davis, the trim in question is on my ultra low mileage 2004 Corolla. Having owned 4 new cars since 1988, I have no plans to sell it. So on your Corolla, I'd probably try to sell it to Gabe. He's always in the market for low mileage Toyotas. But also, G, that car, like, because it's in such good shape, I would, and you're going to keep it and you don't have any plans to sell it, I'd just spend the $300 and get new pieces, honestly. And then Chad saying t-shirt waxing, lol, yep. Using t-shirts to wax your cars. Then G. Davis saying hello to Joey. Joey, the best applicator for paste wax is one of Gabe Garcia's finest socks. Yes. Gabe, I don't know if you knew that, but Gabe's dad taught him how to wax cars using old socks.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's very strange when he first told me about that.
Did he explain why?
Just that his dad loves using old socks.
Oh, okay.
As an applicator.
Maybe like how you and I enjoy using microfibers.
Correct. Yeah. I said, well, they made sponges and other stuff for it. Like, didn't have to use a sock.
Well, it has to be an old sock. You can't
Yeah.
just buy a new one and use it. It's got to be broken in.
Yeah. And then George saying, I used to use T-shirts as rags for waxing. Yep. A lot of people did. Or baby diapers. Franco, been watching Japanese detailer vids on YouTube and decided to try a wheel cover today. They use them a lot. And I got to say, I'm a fan. Wheels are done and covered. Makes the rest super easy. You can see that. You stick that over there. You can spray the tires. You can do all kinds of stuff. Finishes up very simple, very easy. And then G. Davis, what?
Not true.
What?
Not true. I don't wax with the sock.
I said your dad taught you how to wax with a sock, Gabe.
An old sock.
That's what you told me. We have it on video. It's one of our videos.
And-
you literally said that.
Do you hear that? He's not denying it.
He hasn't denied it. However, G. Davis does have an ultra low mileage 2004 Toyota Corolla.
If you're
interested. So,
Ultra low.
Yep.
Okay. Tell G I'm interested.
He bought it brand new. It's a one owner car. All right.
And G Davis owned is like adds an extra flavor about it.
Exactly. G says, when I think of candy shells, I immediately think of Joey B cutting the line to get a fountain of Diet Dr. Pepper. It's pretty funny. And then saying it is a 2004 Corolla. We'll go first page here. Joey Belinsky saying, I got the Guion wheel covers for 40 bones. Then Joey says, I wait my turn in line like a good boy, G. And David, any thoughts, opinions on the use of the flag tip brush on washing the paint of your car or truck? So, David, our green body brush that we use, I wash all my cars. Every car I work on. I wash my Suburban. I wash my wife's car. I wash my car. I wash all the cars that I'm working on. That's what I use. I don't use a wash mitt.
Use the brush. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
The green nylon brush.
Why do you use a brush over a wash mitt or a pad?
Because I don't like getting my hands wet.
Okay.
That's the main reason. Now, for those of you that made it to Mobile Tech, you got to see our new Ultra fully custom designed brush that Anthony and I designed. It's coming to market in a couple weeks.
Just a couple?
Just a couple. It's going to hit the shores, right? It is something that I have been using for the last year to wash cars with.
And you and Fisher designed it.
And me and Fisher designed it.
That's pretty cool.
It is one of the softest brushes. If you guys thought the Ultra Utility Brush bristles were soft, wait till you try the bristles on this brush. It's insane. I am a big proponent that if you are going to be polishing a vehicle, I don't care how you wash it. You can make it a safe wash, but you're washing the car. Use whatever's easiest to get it done because you're already going to polish the car.
Right.
You can do a 2-bucket method. You can do a 1-bucket method. If you're going to wash the car and you're going to wash it properly, and I trust people to wash a car the right way, I'm not worried about that because I know you're going to polish the car afterwards. If you have finished polishing a car, and let's say you need to wash it again for some strange reason, then yes, then I go with the safest possible way to not incur any addition because I just finished that car, or I've coated it and I park it outside and a snowstorm or a windstorm or a sandstorm or something hits it and just trashes the car and I got to wash it, then yes, I'm going to wash it the safest way possible. But once a coating is cured, it's hardened. It should be able to resist a lot of the marring and friction and stuff that is created. Anthony and I have taken through our testing with this new brush and these bristles. We went through like 20 different iterations of bristles for this brush.
Wow.
To create the softest, safest bristles on the planet. And our goal was we would polish a hood and then we would scratch the ever-living snot out of it with that brush to try and get it to scratch. And it wouldn't scratch those panels.
Not at all.
Not at all. So I am a big proponent because our new brush coming out in 2 weeks is literally the safest brush for paint work that you can use if you want to use it for paint. But it's going to be called our Ultra Wheel and Body Brush.
Heck yeah. Okay.
So folks can use it for whatever. But
So don't be worried that
I've
it's a
been
wheel
using
brush.
it for a long time, and I love that. All right. And then G. Davis. So Umberto asking, are you referring to the weather strip window seal car molding trim seal belt for the Toyota Corolla? And go to page 1. Aaron, when you previously worked with Anthony, how annoying were his constant references to screen legend Dolph Lundgren?
I received none of those.
You missed out?
Yeah, I apparently missed out. I don't even know if he was referencing Dolph back then. But see, so Anthony he was a customer service rep, and then I got hired on. And just a quick story, my first experience with Anthony was, so we did what was called like shadowing. We would hook into their headset. Customer could not hear us, but we could hear what the agent was saying, what they were being told, and we could watch them do their job.
Yeah.
So that's what new hires would do, so that we can. So I'm plugged in with Anthony at our fitness company job, and he looks over at me. He goes, "You want to take the next call?" So I was 25 at the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm an adult, but I had not done. I hadn't had a job like that where I was like interacting with customers on a phone with a customer, and so and we were not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
We were supposed to just shadow, and so he get on the phone with him, and this is my first experience with Anthony. I'm taking my very first call, and he is literally feeding me every line. I am pushing mute. He's telling me what to say, and I am literally saying it. And then he's telling me where to go and what to do. And I was sweating so bad. But the cool thing is that once I got that initial call done and over and done with, I was good to go.
Yeah.
Like it was that he did so much for me by like having me take that next phone call when I really didn't want to. So yeah, thank you, Fisher. You helped me break me into my customer support career.
Joey Belinsky. Leviticus, can gumi be diluted for the Ultra Air applicator? If so, how does it look? So, in theory, gumi can be. It is a water-based, water emulsified dressing.
But you wouldn't?
I haven't tested it yet, Joey. I have it ready to rock and roll. It's actually my plan. I've got a car this weekend. It's what I'm doing because I'm out of OptiBond, but I have gumi. And that was my goal. And I told Jack that I'm going to be using gumi soon rather than later. But that's where I'm at. So next week I will report back on gumi being used. My worry is that it might have something else in it that causes it to gas a little bit. So like I said, other folks can try it, but I'm going to try it myself. But it is supposedly a water-based, water emulsified dressing. So, which is what I've been asking. Franco saying, always feel like I'm rushing to dry the wheels with the rest of the car, and then the water spot set in quick with our tap water here. Got to see our spotless, but I haven't set it up yet. Franco, set it up. You will love it. You will be so much happier than chasing those water spots. Jeff C., I haven't tried OptiBond yet. I think I have some in the back of the cabinet. I've been using the OG tire dressing and also tried G-Technic T2. I also have gumi on the way with my Eagle blanket. So, Jeff, I will say, here's the thing. OptiBond is notorious. It needs to have a very clean tire because the formulation of it is designed to bond with the rubber. And it really has to be able to have that dry or that clean tire, and it needs to be dry to bond fully. When it hits rubber, it starts to act like expanding foam. So the reason we recommend it for the applicator is because when you mist it on, you put a very light mist on, that's all you need. You come back and it's actually quadrupled on the surface of that tire. So you have more product now because it's created a molecular chemical reaction to the rubber that has caused it to expand and create this crazy dressing. But you've used almost no dressing. So
that's awesome.
That's what's great about OptiBond. However, once it bonds with the rubber, it will have a tendency to repel any other dressing that comes in contact with it.
So if you're going to go with OptiBond, you might want to stick.
If you go with OptiBond, you're pretty much stuck with OptiBond for a while until you can wear it off. And I'm not talking about a coating. This is just a tire gel, but it works that well. Using other dressings aren't going to affect it. They're just not going to last as long because it repels. It starts to push them off. And so you might come out and go, oh man, this is the problem was when Optimum made their tire coating, they sold their tire coating as this is going to coat your rubber. Problem was everybody that bought it was using OptiBond.
Oh.
So they had tons of issues. So when we were doing Anthony and I were doing customer service, we get so many calls from people that were like, it's not working. It's not staying on. It's coming off. It looks blotchy. It looks weird. And then we'd say, well, what have you been using before that? And they're like, oh, I used OptiBond. I've been using OptiBond for like 2 years. And it's like, oh, that's why. So you have to almost strip these tires to get them as clean as possible. And it took months to remove the OptiBond for people to then use the coating. And the tire coating failed, so to speak, because of the fact that their previous product was so much better that it was causing the coating to not apply. So we would say, hey, if you're buying new tires, brand new tires, wash them, clean them, then use the tire coating on there, and you're going to be amazing. Or use it on a set of tires that have never seen OptiBond before, because OptiBond would interfere. So kind of a wild thing that you didn't even think about, but an amazing product still to this day. And then would it work better wiped on full strength or sprayed on 1-to-1? Either one, whatever one you want to do. I like using Gumi on an applicator. I think it's great. I do it the same way as I used to do OptiBond. I apply it, then I go to the next tire, the next tire, the next tire, come back, and I look at it. If I want to make it glossier, I leave it. Longer I leave it, the shinier it gets. If I want to add maybe another coat, I'll put one more coat on, come back around, and then I'll just knock it down with a dry towel. Or if I come back and knock it off, then I have a nice, clean, matte looking tire that's protected. So nice. You can do a lot of different stuff. So we'll do one more question here, and then we'll go to break. So G. Davis, first from Puerto Rico to Umberto. No, I'm referring to the hard rubber metal-backed trim that attaches adjacent to the door glass. Yeah, so G, that's like, if that's already starting to break and fracture and be just really rough and not looking good, I just replace those. I think it's worth it. I think it's very much worth it, especially for that car, keeping it looking its absolute best. All right, guys, we're going to go to break. We'll be back soon. Watch some videos from our friends and sponsors, and we will see you guys here shortly.
Yeah, stay tuned.
U.S. off-road.
Holy cow!
Wow!
Dane, that was amazing.
Dane, I didn't know you could do any of that stuff.
Neither did I.
Wow!
Well, now that you're an actual bartender,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe whip us up some signature
Oh,
cocktails.
yeah! Dane, do it!
I mean, it's my first day, but let me see what I can whip up.
Nice.
Oh!
I can't believe it. What?
Jeez, Dane!
What?
Oh my God!
Wow, Dane.
Dane!
For being your first day, it's pretty amazing.
Looking for feedback. Let me know what you think.
Oh my God! This stuff smells amazing!
Good, all right.
Well, Levi, Dane, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Nice.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
Thanks, Dane.
Oh my God! God, why are you spitting my drink up? I worked hard on that.
What is in it? Is that polymers?
My mouth is encapsulating.
Why would you even know what polymers taste like?
Tastes like chemicals. Did you feed us chemicals?
What did you put in this?
I made you a nice drink. These are supposed to be nice. Oh, guys, that's my car!
What?
You hit my car. God, guys, if you didn't want the drinks, you could have just given them back to me or something.
Dane.
Are you seeing that shine over there? On the car.
Oh my God. Dane, what did you put in that stuff?
What, in your drinks?
Yeah.
Some water and some Absolute.
Absolute vodka?
No? PNS Double Black Absolute Rinseless. Wow.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to poison us?
Dane! Did you just make us drink rinseless water?
No, definitely didn't do that.
Absolute rinseless wash is not for oral or suppository consumption.
Looks pretty good.
It does, however, leave a hell of a clean and smooth surface on your vehicle.
Wow.
PNS Absolute Rinseless Wash. Mix responsibly.
Is that something?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Did I
I'm
make a
kind of
good thing?
enjoying it. I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah. So just don't drink it.
No.
Yeah, let's make sure we don't drink it for the future.
But do put it on cars.
Yeah, it's good. It's for
Put it
cars,
on a car. Okay.
not inside you.
Hello, everybody. This is Nate from the Rag Company. Today, I have YouTube video star and sensation Josh Brodel. He does some really great Saturday videos for us. What do you have to say?
Do I need to?
No, you just.
Oh. Thanks for having me, Nate.
Awesome, good. That's great. Why don't you talk in your videos?
Jimmy told me not to.
Really soft-spoken. All right. So we're coming at you with an event announcement called TRCMA, which is the Rag Company Media Access. That is just going to be... Are you pretty excited for that?
Oh, definitely. Super excited.
Looks like it's happening from April 1st to the 4th of 2024, Monday through Thursday. Do you think you got time for that? In free time?
Yeah, I think I can get that on the schedule.
Or stream it. You can stream it. Yeah, anywhere you watch YouTube videos.
Oh, YouTube Live.
Look at that. The man just oozes detailing. We're looking forward for all those brands and everyone to show up, and just for the kids at home, just kind of wrap it up with a few words of wisdom for the detailing fanatics.
You guys definitely don't want to miss it.
Okay. Thank you very much, and we'll see you there.
All right. We are back in hour 2. Aaron, this is usually known as the fun half. The questions get a little raunchier.
Ooh.
They get a little more difficult to answer sometimes. Sometimes we end up laughing. So this one we try to make it a little more fun, a little more simple. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Levi Gates, and with me, Mr. Aaron Handready. Aaron from Customer Service. Right here hanging out. We're going to be answering your questions, your comments, all that stuff. Anthony and Dane, for those of you that are just tuning in, are in sunny Orlando, Florida, over at Freddie's shop, at Tavares' shop this week. They're doing that. They're filming some videos with him. Anthony just posted something on the Rag Company Instagram. You guys can go take a look. He just posted made a little short reel of some of the stuff they're going to be doing. They're actually working on a car for the next 24 hours.
Jeez.
A long day. Basically, they've got a car that is getting put back together, and then they're going to detail it. So hopefully they get it all done, and maybe they get some sleep tonight. And then later on, at the beginning of the week, they're going to be headed over the weekend, and the beginning of the week, they're going to be headed over to the OG compound, to Matt's place, to say hello to the Obsessed Garage Gang, and do some video stuff with them. So really excited, looking forward to seeing what they come up with. And
Keep an eye on our channel.
Yeah. So keep an eye on the Instagram for that stuff, any of the updates and stuff, and then we'll have some great content when they get home. All right. So if you guys have any questions for Aaron, please do not hesitate. We're going to be kicking it off with the Meridian Marmot.
Let's see who can get me to chuckle.
Yeah. Saying, any thoughts about the O&R versus Absolute video that OPT put out with the beakers half filled with dirt? I thought it was a little silly. Both get the dirt out of my fur just fine. So the O&R video is amazing, and it proves what O&R has always said it does, which is make a Zwitter ionic. Now, Absolute has that same property, but it takes it a little longer. And that's one of the reasons that O&R does everything so well, and why we have sold it for so many years and preached it to so many people, because N914 can't do that. And some of the other rinselesses on the market cannot do that. They have no capacity to be Zwitter ionic. And so that is the one thing that we asked Dave from PNS to work his magic. But again, we're explaining to someone what it does, and he did it the best way he possibly could, and it works with what we're expecting. I want to be able to come out to a bucket of rinseless after an evening of detailing some cars and come out and put a cup of water or fill up a little cup of water and see that it's clear. What I don't want is to stick that thing in there and just pull out chocolate milk.
Yeah.
So having all that product settle to the bottom is exactly what it's for, and that's why we put a grit guard in the bucket. It's not to stop the dirt and contamination from getting pulled back up. It's to stop your hand from touching the sludge. That's reality, is what it is. So, no, I loved it. I thought it was a great video, and it showed. But again, Absolute did what it was supposed to. It did the same thing that O&R did. It just took it a little longer to do, which we already knew. So
I have a quick question for you, not to take away from your guys'.
No, go for it.
What are your thoughts on, so you're familiar with Lucas in our customer support department. He recently purchased a touchless wash.
So Build Hamber touchless wash is a pre-cleaner.
Sugar-based.
Yeah. So Build Hamber makes some amazing products. They're based in the UK. Make everything in-house. Amazing brand. That is a really good pre-cleaner. At this point, though, I'm still going to pre-clean with Forced. And Forced will still give it a run for its money. Or, like we talked about earlier, Superfoam. Superfoam was originally designed as a touchless wash.
Oh.
That's what it's for, is that you use that and then you rinse the car off. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
And so that is kind of what Superfoam is being that that top tier touchless wash.
Do you understand the science behind like a sugar-based wash?
Not that deep into it.
Okay.
But I will say Build Hamber does make some amazing products. It is an amazing product, and there's a lot of distributors that do carry it, and they all say it is a great product. So
Thank
and
you.
like I said, Lucas has been playing with it. He was very excited to get it. So, Ron Ayotte. I miss the old Meguiar's number 16 paste wax in the blue can. California's VOC laws killed it. I remember that wax. That was a good wax too. That was fun. And then Chris says Blue Coral started with that. Blue Coral was another brand. They make a lot of car wash products for car washes. So they would have we'd always have
like
cans of
commercial
that.
car washes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. They make chemicals and stuff, but you used to be able to buy Blue Coral cans of wax back in the day. And then G. Davis says, Andrew Werkheiser endorses Zymol for German family reunions. Andrew Werkheiser of KCX America. Fazal saying, what's up, TRC crew? I have some stubborn tape adhesive on piano black interior trim near the radio. What's the best way to remove this? Steam didn't work.
Immediate thoughts would be tea.
Yeah?
I know if you need something stronger, Ulix. I don't know if you want to be putting Ulix on.
No, but I would say I agree with you. Tea or Shara.
Shara.
TJARA by Stjarnaglas.
Oh, okay.
So Stjarnaglas Shara is a citrus-based oil grease wax solvent that you can use on the interior.
Oh.
Because it has a quick off gas, so it doesn't leave a lingering scent. And the scent that it does leave is a citrus scent.
So it's pleasant.
Yeah, so you could probably take like a makeup pad, like makeup removal pads, put a little Shara on, and then put it on that spot, and it should be able to remove it without damaging that piano black plastic. Because the piano black, notoriously, just like our B pillars and things on the cars, they're not real clear coat. They're more of like a light covering of something.
Gotcha.
And so it's a very fast, easy way to dissolve that is by putting the wrong product on. But you're right, tea or Shara. Fazal, one great thing that we've got going on, I don't know if it's on the website right now, but we do have a lot of the products for sale, but we do have those essentials kits from
right.
Stjarnaglas still available that come with a bunch of 2-ounce bottles, and some of them have Shara in it. And so that's another reason to get one, because you can get a little 2-ounce bottle of Shara for things like that. That's why I have it.
And try out a bunch of Stjarnaglas
Yeah, you can try
products.
a bunch of little Stjarnaglas products out of there. David Boyce. Levi and Aaron, my black piano outside window trim on the A and B pillars are fading dull. Would a one-step polish help? Yes, it would. However, like I was just saying, that is not real clear coat on those. Everybody thinks it's the same clear coat that's on their car. It's not. I once was at an event back east, the Detailer's Domain, and we had the guy who worked in the factory that made all the A pillars and B pillars for a number of manufacturers around the country. And he goes, dude, we just spray clear on them, but the clear is not an automotive clear. It's just a clear paint that they just, it could be made out of acrylic or you know, what's the paint we used to use in school? Tempera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it's that. It's just like it might even be hodgepodge, like or Mod Podge, whatever it's called. Like it's not a real clear coat, but it's a clear something they throw on it. And so I always say for folks that are either doing a restoration or replacing that, back in the dealership days, we used to just spray paint those black. You would mask off a window trim and you would spray paint it black. Like that was part of used car reconditioning. Once they started going with that piano black, that's when it got a little harder. So we would buff them out, try and polish them out, or we would just vinyl wrap them. Just put a new piece of gloss black vinyl on there. I'd had all these cuts, pre-cuts made for different cars, and the guy would come up to me, and when I worked at a dealership, and the guys in the recon department would come up to my space where I was weeding all the vinyl and stuff, and they would pick up pre-cuts based on the cars that they were working on. And I would just give it to them, and they'd slide that piece of vinyl over, and that was it. It was done. So the thing is, you either remove those, replace them, put new ones on, buff them, but know that it is deteriorating. Get new ones, because you can buy them on Amazon, or you can buy the covers on Amazon that snap over. The take those down to a body shop or go get some 2K clear and re-clear them yourself and put a proper clear with a UV inhibitor in them to really make them last. Or PPF. Put PPF on because PPF has extreme UV protection that helps promote or prevent that degradation.
Yeah.
So there you go. Mark Thompson, I heard the KCX Blue Insect Remover is their IDR in Germany. Is IDR coming over? Mark, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what IDR is. So I don't know if it's coming over. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard about it. I don't know about it.
Thankfully,
Sorry.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I hope Levi mentions what IDR is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So, Riggs920 saying, friend asked me to polish out a scratch on piano black trim on an Audi. Any suggestions or tip? No, just try and polish it without melting that little spot. Like I said, it's not real clear. So just be careful. You can polish them out and you can get them out to where they're shinier, but it's not going to might not fully disappear. That's the biggest thing, Riggs. So just be wary of that. And then maybe suggest your friend go get them PPF'd, or if you know how to PPF them, you do it. You know, that's one of the things that the new storefront is doing.
Oh, with Connor?
They are, our new storefront has a plotter, and they are doing pre-cut panels with PPF. And so technically they could cut new pieces that you could then PPF your B-pillars or have them do it. Pretty sweet.
Yes, indeed.
So everybody's saying, just talking. Here we go. Page 2. Make sure we got everybody. All right. Gabe says false.
I
And
think
then
Gabe is false.
Humberto says, yes, the old sock is what we used. And then Humberto says, ooh, and the new UBS. So not the new Ultra Black sponge. It's called the Ultra Safe Sponge, and it is gray. And that is the other new product that's coming out. And it is going to be it is a newer, if you thought the Ultra Black sponge was soft, wait till you feel the Ultra Safe sponge. It's even softer, so we're calling it the USS because it's like a battleship gray, and it's going to be like a little boat in your bucket. Same thing, though. You can use it just like with the UBS. You can use it in soap. You can use it in rinseless. It goes back and forth, no problem. It's going to come in the same type of blister pack that we use for like our clays, so it'll be vented, so you can store it in there.
If you are a fan of sponges, you are going to love this new sponge.
I think you guys are really going to like this sponge. It's very, very nice. So, and those that got to see it really enjoyed it. G. Davis says, if it meant I could enjoy lunch and a long weekend with Gabe, I'd strongly consider selling it. Well, G, he did just get rid of a low mileage V8 4Runner and an ultra low mileage Honda Civic to make room for a brand new low mileage Honda Odyssey van. So, just saying, he's got a space. He's got a spot in his garage to fit in there.
Now's the time to slide into his DMs.
And he's got a little bit of, he's got a little bit of cash now because he got rid of those cars. Joey Belinsky goes, what, a new UBS? Yeah, so it's the USS. For those of you that got to see it at the at Mobile Tech, that was what it is. It's a brand new sponge called the USS. It's a charcoal gray, and it is even softer than the Ultra Black sponge. And then Jeff C. says, Levi, when you said 18 to 24 months, were you talking about Diamond Body? I was asking about the Quick Body Spray Topper, which is supposed to be 6 months. Oh, Quick Body. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Diamond Body. Quick Body's fine. You can spray it on there. Yeah, you're good. It'll come off. Because I'd like to use Quick Body as a 6-month topper without needing to tape off trim. Yeah, you're good, Jeff. Totally. Keep doing what you're doing. G. Davis. Are there any Grandambassadors of the Year security concerns for Jamie the Cleaner, with the hairy midwife being at TRCMA? So far, no, but part of it is I am going to be tagging all the Grandambassadors. I've purchased sashes for all of them, like Miss America pageants, for them to wear. So they are all in bright colors, and the goal is that way we can all see. And they will have to wear it. There are tracking devices on them.
You must wear them proudly as well.
Yeah, they'll wear them proudly. They'll look nice. But there are things, other security devices installed. in case we need to utilize some of those things. But
Absolutely.
yeah, once they're here, then we'll deal with that. Shine and Preserve Detailing. Anyone know why Jamie the Cleaner is ditching and staying away from nano diamond type coatings? I don't know. He's doing whatever he wants. That's all. That's all any of us do. I'm not expecting Jamie the Cleaner to just stick with Diamond Protec or any other type of nano diamond coatings.
Jamie's the boss. He's gonna.
Jamie can pick and choose whatever he wants. He could be using a different coating from there. You got to understand, Anthony and I have 3 different coatings that we use right now today, 3 different brands that we carry and sell. And I'm still playing with the coating brand that was brought to me at SEMA that I've been enjoying very much so. That's very nice. And it's surprising me. So there's a lot of things that coating technologies are changing. CCI has created a new coating, their new brand come to the market that has some amazing capabilities. So the technology is continuing to change, but Jamie's not like ditching. It's just he's using something different for customers. He'd still be installing them. Just because he's not videoing it doesn't mean it's always there. So.
There's also personal preference.
Yeah.
You can't ever go wrong with the Master of Shine's advice and suggestions. But
Thank you.
If you have found that a different product works better for you, then run with it.
Mm-hmm. And then Umberto says, G. Davis is possibly because stinging bees all over the swamp creature. Yeah. And G saying, Anthony was so good at phone sales, he actually convinced my grandmother to buy a Total Gym and 100 pounds of Metamucil scented creatine.
G. Davis, that was the call that I was linked up with.
That was the one you wrote?
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Amazing. And then Joey says, what a great commercial to put back in rotation. I don't know which one you're talking. Oh, the Absolute commercial,
Oh, yeah.
probably.
That was a pretty
Hopefully
fun
that's
one.
what you're talking about. And then further details. Have you talked to Ivan about his new C6 Lifetime detonated nano diamond coatings yet? No, we have not. Umberto saying, I met Josh at MTE. That's right, you did. And then Alex saying, Josh and Nate get me every time. Yeah, so that you got to see on the last one with Nate and Just Josh. And Just Josh was there at Mobile Tech with us. And he showed me the new stuff. That's right. And then Chad saying, lol. Then G. Davis, Aaron, what's the best advice you can give someone before calling TRC customer service?
Well, I guess that'll depend
one.
on what you're calling for, right? If there's an issue with your order, it's just I mean, we can pull up your order with a variety of information, but having that readily available for us is nice and whatnot. I guess.
So have your order number.
Yeah, or a way for us to easily look up the order. If there is an issue with your order, it's always nice when the customer's polite and respectful. And yeah, I guess if you just want to talk about recommendations or products or stuff like that, yeah, just a bubbly attitude, whatnot.
There you go.
Yeah, oh yeah. So obviously we're working daily to resolve issues with orders and stuff like that, but it's super fun when we get the customers who obviously love our products and they just kind of want to pick our brain on things. Like those are some really fun calls.
Yeah. Well, and I would say that the biggest thing would be to just understand that Aaron and Lucas are just people. And although you might be upset or frustrated with your order, they always strive and strive to do their best, but they do get inundated sometimes with a number of calls, a number of emails, and they're just doing their best to try and get everybody's questions answered and getting all those issues resolved.
That is the tricky part, is to remember that even though you are resolving order issues all day long, that in the grand scheme, that's a small number compared to the amount of orders that we've put out. And so it's always remembering, it's just that, like, even though this might be your 5th replacement of the day, it is that customer's first,
Yeah.
right? And so just remembering that, and
Yeah.
we just want to get you guys taken care of. So
Yep. And then G. Davis says, in Joey B's honor, I watched The Marvels last night. Perhaps the worst MCU movie ever. And yes, I'm including the Eternals. Gee, I haven't even watched it yet.
I stopped a long time after Endgame. I watched a couple of the shows.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. I haven't seen season 2, but I just kind
I
of
like season 2 of Loki.
Okay, I'll have to watch that. I just got burnt out.
Yeah.
It's I think it ran its course and it was phenomenal, incredible. But now they're trying to like redo it.
Yeah.
And well, all the studios are, right? Everyone's got a shared cinematic universe now.
Yeah.
But
I think Loki season 2 will fix everything for you.
Okay.
Because it does. Technically it fixes it.
Okay.
So
I really enjoyed the first season.
I thought they did a great job with it.
Okay.
So I think you'd like that one. Han says, I thought Waxstock 2024 would be 2 days again. Guess I was wrong. Hans, I haven't even looked to see.
When is Waxstock?
Waxstock's what?
When is Waxstock?
It's in the summer, in June,
Okay.
July. Sometimes it was in May one year, but it's usually in July. Joey Belinsky saying, gee, The Marvels was terrible, but boy, do I have a schoolboy crush on Miss Larson. And then Joey says, Joey, feeling the same way, but for the late B. Arthur, I can relate.
That comment reminds me
It's
of
we're great exchange, gentlemen.
the Dumb and Dumber comment when he's like the schoolboy.
Yeah. Which makes me feel like a little schoolboy. Franco saying, hi, I watched The Marvels last night, and I thought it was great. Gran Turismo was damn good, too.
Was there a viewing party that we were
Apparently,
invited to?
everybody went and watched The Marvels. So I did watch Gran Turismo finally because Anthony and Dane both have seen it like a billion times, and Anthony is like...
They're raving about it?
Anthony has been building sim rigs at his house so that he can someday be that kid in the movie.
Okay.
That's his goal. Apparently, it's some sort of dream to become a racing driver. So
A digital racing driver or like an actual?
he wants to be a real one, but I think he wants to get the skills on the sim first. But yeah, so he's been doing that. But I saw the movie. I thought it was really good. I actually watched it on the plane back from Orlando and was very impressed.
I do like David Harbour.
So. G says, I have an idea for SEMA 2024. I have an opening night TRC meet and greet. Charge a reasonable fee, invite only, live adult content Q&A, etc. I see what you're trying to do there, G. Only if you come.
Right.
And then Franco says, G. Davis Law, only foams. And then Hans says, who's going to Waxstock? Hans, it's too early to tell. We haven't added that to our list because the game plan is we are going to Auto Mechanica this year. So,
and when are those dates?
That's in August, I think.
Okay.
So, August or September. I think it's September. But point is, probably not going to, we don't know yet. It's one of those we don't know what with all the info yet for Waxstock. But we are going to be at Auto Mechanica this year, and we might extend the trip a little longer. So that's kind of why it's kind of taking precedence for that trip, because there's only so many times you can go over to Europe.
As it turns out.
Well, multiple times, it gets a little more expensive for UK and Europe. So, Ron, just an FYI for the Grand Ambassadors, I believe that Leonard Vermeil's last name is pronounced Vermil. Yeah, it is. Vermil. Anthony calls him Vermigel.
Okay, yeah, I've heard him say that a lot.
It's Vermil. So, but we knew that. It's Leonard Vermeil. And if you guys go back and watch when we were over at Rag Company Europe, there's I think they keep, maybe it's not in the video, but it was something that Patrick kept telling Anthony. And then he introduced him to Leonard and was like, this is Leonard Vermil, Vermigel, Anthony. And Anthony's like, oh, yeah. But no, when he first became a Grand Ambassador, Patrick called us to let us know that was the actual truth, was that his name is Vermil.
Okay.
So, yeah. Joey saying, Ron Ayotte, that means nothing. You know those boys make up whatever names that they want. And then Ron, I know, my name is always mispronounced. Only Dane gets it right. So we used to call Ron Ayotte.
Okay.
And then he's like, it's Ayotte.
Oh.
And so that's what you say, Ayotte.
I can kind of see it, though.
Yeah. And we've met Ron before many times. Ron's a normal customer. Like, we've actually got to meet him face to face. That's one of the fun things is we actually get to meet a lot of these guys face to face, which is great. So Franco says, TRC sent me the wolf style, dryer wolf maybe, instead of gauntlets. And I decided to try one. And yeah, I kept them and ordered a couple of gauntlets. The dryer wolves were awesome though. So that's something he's saying that happened. So, and then G Davis, I read on the forums that Dane actually bypassed Orlando to fly to Italy for the last day of testimony in his bougie yacht vacation paternity suit. You never know. Holy crap, Franco. A super chat, $40 from Franco. $50, sorry, $49.99. Shout out to TRC customer service showing some love.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Thank
very
you.
nice, Franco. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was very nice.
That's freaking awesome.
I think we'll probably have to get you guys lunch tomorrow. That's what that sounds like.
Oh, I won't fight you on that.
G Davis, personally, I'd like to see Anthony realize his dream of starring in the Crying Game 2. It's pretty funny. Lucas Blaine from customer service.
What?
Saying, Franco, if it ever happens again, hopefully not, do not hesitate to reach out and we will get you taken care of.
Oh, absolutely.
With getting the dryer wolf instead of the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then Jeff C says, sounds like I'm going to need to book a cruise on the USS Absolute and retire the old 2018 BRS, the Big Red Sponge. That was the other one we had.
Okay.
That was an Optimum sponge.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it in person.
And then Al saying, hey, Levi, my oldest son just got a Starlink satellite internet set up for his camper. That's rad, dude. So I've been looking at the next upgrades for my trailer. So first and foremost, I think my trailer's pretty much fine where it is. It works great. I like everything about it. The two things that I want. So one is a backup camera for the Suburban. I need to get that. And two is going to be the new Ego what is it? The Ego generator that is battery powered.
Oh.
So it's an e-generator basically. So it can run the trailer but quietly and silently.
Oh, very
So I don't
nice.
have to run my gas and propane generator. Just because those are my things. Like I don't want internet so much because I like being able to go out and not have access.
Right.
And so I like seeing that and I like thinking about that and like going, oh, that's pretty sweet to be able to have internet. But like when I go, I'm on the opposite. Like I don't want
It's time to disconnect.
I don't want to be able to be connected. So for me, I want it to be more quiet so that I can take more naps.
Yes. Well,
That's
yeah.
the goal. But
I could see like travel wise.
But yeah, if I was using it like to work out of or whatever, and like, hey, we're going to go for 2 weeks, but I need to work, then yeah, then I would probably get that. But for me right now, I'm looking at a backup camera and that. But I did add, I don't know, Al, if your son got this, but I got the Level Pro Plus, which is awesome. It's a little leveler that you mount inside the trailer and it Bluetooths to your phone. And you set the parameters of the trailer and the wheelbase. And then when you have your phone, you can back into your spot and you can see exactly where it's not level on the ground.
Interesting.
And so you know that the left side needs to come up 2 inches or 3 inches. You know that the butt's hanging off or the front's.
That's got to be super helpful.
So it makes it a lot easier to level. I'm still trying to figure out the leveling itself myself. Like I've got those leather wheel or the level wheel kits. And I don't know how to make them work. So I'm still trying to figure that part out. So, but yeah, it's still pretty sweet. Congrats to him. Franco saying, Lucas Blaine, absolutely. But I'm glad I tried them. Well, there you go. G. Davis says, I would pay my own way and borrow Luke Bergey's short sleeve tuxedo if I could MC the Vegas TRC event. G, you would be more than welcome to do that. Franco says, ayote like coyote. It's a yote. And then Lucas says, at least there's a silver lining. Franco laughing. Al says, shout out to Franco for fat fingering his super chat and adding that extra 9 by mistake. And then G. Davis saying, sadly, I missed MTE. Any other domestic trips this year besides SEMA? At this point, they're going to be at the car wash show. Dane and Anthony and I won't be there, but we're going to be at the car wash show, which I think is on the east side. I think they're going to do the ISA sign show and a couple other things. But that's the fun part about the Rag Company events page is it'll tell you where everyone's going to be this year and what events we're going to be at. So you guys can go check that out on the website. And then Jason Garza, does TRC have a store in Boise? Yes, we do. Indeed. Yes, you can. It's right over there. It's literally in front of our building. It's called MVP Detail Supply. And it's got giant Rag Company logos on it, as well as a bunch of other company logos on it for detailing products and supplies. And you can swing in there and pick up anything you need. They have everything that we carry.
Oh, yeah.
So
highly encourage you to do so.
Please come on down. And then Al saying, Level Pro Plus sounds badass. I'll let him know. Thanks. Yeah, I got mine off Amazon. It's really great. And the more that I've used it, the more I've enjoyed it. And fun fact, something that he might want to think about that I did, that gives you screws to screw it and mount it into the trailer. But I actually just mounted it inside one of the cabinets, and I used Velcro.
So you don't have to like drill any holes?
Because of the here's why. Because it runs off a battery. So you have to charge it up. And so this is the easiest way. I just I pull it off, and I'll stick like a battery pack in there, and I'll just hook a battery, and it's a trickle charge because it only needs it when you turn it on. It's got a little lever on and off. So you turn it on when you get ready to back into a spot, and then Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth will tell you what the battery life is on the unit. So you can charge it for a day, and then it's pretty much set for like 3 months of use. But I was looking at it, and I go, oh, man, I have to charge this too? And I was getting ready to drill it into a panel, and I thought, whatever, I'm just going to do this. And I Velcroed it, and it works so much better because I can pull it off and put it back on. No big deal. So tell him to let him know about the Velcro on it. Get some Velcro. And then Jeff C. says, we are so spoiled these days with our backup cameras. Back in my farming days, we hooked up the trailers with the Helen Keller method by feel. That's how I've been backing up my trailer currently. Although my beautiful, lovely wife, Carly, has been instrumental in backing me up and letting me know where I got to go and where I got to get to that spot.
As wives usually are.
I'm very appreciative, but I'd like to take that off her plate and then go, I got the trailer hooked up. We're good to go. Then she can go stand in the back of the trailer, and then the next one will be getting the backup camera for the back of the trailer. But she can guide that.
Yes.
So, and then Franco saying hello to Al. Everybody laughing. Franco saying Jeff C. using the Force. And then Umberto says, I met Steven, the youngest detailer in his pots. We share Navajo blood. Oh, nice. Yeah, little Steve, the detailing kid, is a local Boise detailer.
Okay.
And his dad owns Detail Doctors.
Oh.
And here they're up by the airport. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they were at Mobile Tech. They've been going to Mobile Tech for the last 5 or 6 years. But yeah, they're both great guys, good guys. Jason Garza saying, I've done a polish correction on a black 2024 CT5 and it left some haze. How could that be corrected? Did I apply too much polish? The yellow Rupes wool pad and Rupes polish. The yellow pad and the yellow polish? Is that what you did? If you had some haze, you either didn't cut it out and so you left from the cutting process, or if you only polished, there's potential that it was very soft clear and you need to go back over again with like white foam and Uno Pure over that to get that to bring it out a little more. So, or just white and the polish. The yellow Rupes fine. So, might try that. Franco says midichlorian levels aren't what they used to be. And Hans says you need a backup camera for your backup camera. I know, pretty much, Hans. But my trailer is wired for a backup camera. I just need to buy one to put on the back. But again, I don't have a display in my truck, so I need to get a different head unit that I can hook up the backup camera for the Suburban, because the Suburban didn't have a backup camera.
So it's not just hooking up the backup camera. There's a little bit more.
A little bit more that I need to do to make it work. So there's a lot of little things that I gotta get done and get built for the old rig to make it a little easier to get to. But as of right now, everything works. I'm doing it like I did since I was a 17-year-old kid, backing up the trailer, hooking it up. I never used a backup camera, so.
The Helen Keller method.
Yeah, that's how I've been doing it. So you just use the force to get it to align. But and then Berger says to remember that he is just visiting this planet. So that's always nice to hear. But anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me and Aaron. We're going to cut it a little early today because we got no questions. But I want to say again, thank you, Franco, for your super chat. We really appreciate it. As always, thank you guys for tuning in, being fans. Make sure you're nice to Aaron and Lucas. Yeah. They do a really great job, and I wanted to bring Aaron on so you guys could actually see a face, put a face to the name, so to speak. And maybe we'll have Lucas on next week.
Oh, absolutely!
So everybody can see him.
You guys will love Lucas.
We can do this. So
thanks for letting me be a part of this.
We appreciate it, man. Yeah, Jeff says that that was how his wife backed into the garage last year. Alex says he needs to head out. Great show, guys. Thanks for stepping in, Aaron. Take care. Jason Garza says, has Jason Rose done any classes in Boise? Yes, he has. We actually had a class last 2 weeks ago here at our storefront with Prentice St. Clair. He was here for that. So keep an eye out for our upcoming classes. But you can check our events page, Jason, for all those informations. Go to theradcompany.com. You'll see it up at the top. It says events. And you're good to go. Franco, Ryan, thanks. Kirby says, oh my gosh, I didn't know you had Q&A. It was not posted. That's because Dane does that, and Dane's gone. I don't post that stuff. That's all Dane's job, and he forgot to do that. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Yes, we had a good crew today for not having that. Make sure you smash that like. As always, we appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you on Tuesday. See ya.
See you later, everyone.